In the animal kingdom, we have seen things that are hard to believe. From chameleon that changes color to mimic its surroundings, to octopus that can squeeze into any small space, we've seen it all. But among all of this, there is one particular animal that has got people talking for its insane ability to shapeshift in just 48 hours. This might sound unbelievable, but it's entirely true. And today we are going to tell you all about this amazing process. So stay with us till the end of the video and do not forget to like and subscribe for more such videos. Welcome back to our channel, your one station for all the mesmerizing videos. Before we begin, do not forget to hit the like button and subscribe so you won't miss any of our videos. Now let's take a look at these amazing salamanders. Scientists have finally discovered how the axolotl can regenerate its own body parts and how it can do so faster than any other amphibian. The new research suggests that the regeneration process may be aided by the migration of protein-packed immune cells into the wound site. Axolotls are fascinating creatures. They're known for their extraordinary regenerative abilities. They can regrow limbs, tails, and even parts of their brains and spinal cord, while scientists have been studying the regeneration process for decades. They haven't been able to figure out how the animals accomplish this feat until now. In a study published on February 23 in the journal Science Advances, researchers from the University of Kentucky Markey Cancer Center describe how they tracked the migration of immune cells in the axolotl to better understand the early stages of regeneration. Regeneration is the process of replacing lost or damaged tissues with new tissues, which can be triggered by cell death, developmental abnormalities, or even physical trauma. Some animals are capable of regenerating entire body parts, such as limbs and tails, while others can only regenerate small pieces of those structures. Axolotls fall into the first category. They can completely regenerate their limbs and tails after an injury, which makes them ideal subjects for studying how regeneration works. In fact, scientists have studied axolotls since at least the mid-1800s, when they first learned that they could regrow body parts. By the 1900s, researchers had begun to understand the general process of regeneration in axolotls. First, cells at the site of the injury replicate rapidly. Then those cells migrate into the wound and form a structure called the blastema. The blastema is essentially a mass of undifferentiated cells that can develop into any type of tissue. As the blastema grows, the cells within it differentiate into the tissues needed to replace what was lost, such as bone, muscle, and skin. Eventually, the regenerated limb or tail is fully functional. But despite knowing the general process, scientists still have a lot to learn about how regeneration works. For example, they don't know exactly what triggers the process or how the body knows how much tissue to regenerate. There are also some differences between the way axolotls and other amphibians regenerate. Salamanders, for example, can also regenerate their limbs and tails, but they do it in a different way. Salamanders don't form a blastoma like axolotls do, and they can't regrow their limbs as quickly. Axolotls can regrow a limb in as little as 50 days, while salamanders can take months or even years. That's why scientists are so interested in studying axolotls. If they can figure out how axolotls regenerate, they may be able to apply that knowledge to other animals, including humans. After all, we humans can regenerate some things, like our skin and liver cells, but we can't regrow entire limbs. In recent years, scientists have made some progress in understanding the molecular mechanisms of regeneration in axolotls. They've identified some of the genes that are involved in the process, and they've begun to figure out how those genes work. One gene in particular has caught their attention. It's called plasma. When plasma is active, the cells at the site of the injury replicate rapidly. And as you may already know, this is the first step of regeneration. Scientists think there may be other genes that play a role in regeneration as well, and they're hopeful that by identifying those genes, they can develop new treatments for human diseases. One of the challenges of studying regeneration is that it is a very complex process involving many different cell types and molecular pathways. To better understand the process, researchers often use animal models that regenerate in different ways. This allows them to compare and contrast the different strategies and identify the commonalities. For example, axolotls and salamanders regenerate their limbs in different ways, but they both lose their tails in a similar way. By studying both animals, researchers can get a more complete picture of the regeneration process. In recent years, scientists have begun to explore the use of regenerative medicine to treat human diseases. Regenerative medicine is a field of medicine that focuses on repairing or replacing damaged tissues and organs. One approach is to use stem cells to generate new tissue. Stem cells are cells that have the potential to develop into many different types of cells. They can be found in various tissues throughout the body, including bone marrow and umbilical cord blood. Another approach is to use gene therapy to correct the genetic defects that cause disease. Gene therapy is a technique used to deliver genetic material into cells to correct a genetic defect. It has shown promise in treating some rare disorders, and researchers are hopeful that it can be used to treat more common diseases in the future. While these approaches are still in the experimental stages, they hold great promise for the future of medicine. Ultimately, understanding the regeneration process in other animals may help us find new ways to heal ourselves. By studying axolotls and other regenerative animals, scientists hope to unlock the secrets of regeneration and one day use that knowledge to help heal people. Now, let's talk about how these amazing creatures change their shape. The axolotl is a type of salamander that belongs to the family Ambastomatidae. It is native to the lakes and canals of Mexico City in Mexico. The axolotl is a neotenic salamander, which means that it retains its larval features throughout its life. This includes its external gills, which it uses to breathe underwater. Axolotls are typically grayish or brownish in color with dark spots or blotches. They have a long, slender body with a tail that is equal in length to its head and body combined. Their limbs are short and webbed, and their eyes are small and beady. Axolotls are carnivorous and they feed primarily on aquatic invertebrates such as worms, mollusks, and crustaceans. They also eat small fish and salamanders. Axolotls are generally nocturnal, which means that they are most active at night. They are also solitary animals, meaning that they prefer to be alone rather than in groups. However, they can sometimes be found in groups when there is a lot of food available. Axolotls are relatively easy to care for in captivity, and they are popular pets in some parts of the world. They need a large tank with clean, cool water and a diet of live or frozen foods. With proper care, they can live for 10 years or longer. There are several threats to wild axolotl populations, including habitat loss and pollution. They are also vulnerable to climate change, which is causing the temperature of their native waters to rise. As a result, axolotls are considered a near-threatened species by the International Union for Conservation of Nature (IUCN). However, thanks to their popularity as pets, there are plenty of axolotls in the pet trade. If you're interested in getting an axolotl as a pet, be sure to do your research and find a reputable breeder. Make sure they're healthy and come from a clean, ethical source. With proper care, your axolotl can thrive and bring you years of enjoyment. We hope you enjoyed learning about the amazing axolotl. If you did, please leave us a comment below letting us know what you found most interesting about this unique creature. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more fascinating animal videos. Thanks for watching. See you next time.